Hi Capricorn, this is Readings of Luz. Thank you so much for being here. I am just cleansing my space, making sure my space is cleansed for your reading. These are the cards we got for you today. The oracle cards on the really pretty ones. I mean, they're all beautiful, but the top three right ones are the ones for the general of 2022, and then the other ones are for January. But it took me a while to really find the right moment to just start. I kept being bombarded with tons of thoughts about the way I look, with the way I am just gonna be perceived, just constantly in that other realm of self-criticism. And I was like, hey, you have to be here, right now. That's what matters. So of course I rang my little bowl here, and I was ready to start. So let's get started. Hi Capricorn, this video is for January and sort of a general for 2022. We're gonna start with a Dark Mirror card from the Dark Mirror deck. This deck is awesome. It shows you what shadow is clinging on to you at the moment and is taking a lot of your energy. Just know that I don't judge you, and that literally everything that comes through me comes, that I'm channeling through the cards, I'm listening to. You're not alone. And I'll read from the book. I hope you had an awesome new year, because it is a new year. We got number 4. And we got, is this me? Okay, so the stage you might find yourself in right now, Capricorn, is acceptance. And the moon phase that this is channeled with is the new moon. I cannot recognize myself, but I'm still me. I can't recognize myself, but I'm still me. I can't even recognize myself, but I'm still me. This card is not about an affirmation, but rather a question. Is this me? Can I recognize myself? Maybe yes, maybe no. But for sure, I lost the road I had once. The last name, I stopped to really think about it. In my heart, I feel maybe like the high school girl that went to prom. But truly, I am now 45 and I weigh thrice. I feel my true self as the kid that wanted to play soccer with the Real Madrid. All this while punching numbers on an Excel file out in an insurance office. It is not necessarily something negative as a dream lost or corrupted. I could see myself as love is the most important thing in my life, but actually I have a very well-paid job that makes me travel, and I sleep alone in hotel rooms. When did we last look at ourselves in the mirror? Do we like what we are? Make no excuses, because the choices which made what we are our responsibility. If an old dream is dead, it's time to dream anew. If the old dream is alive, it's time to go back to it. Beautiful artwork, by the way. It's crazy how living in our third eye can make us waste what feels like waste, but it's not. It makes us stuck. That's it. It makes us stuck for a while, you know, and it gets addictive to go back to our third eye and see and experience and be in that world that we really truly want. And the characters in that world maybe are some of the characters in real life. And that's why when we talk to these people, when we're at those places, it's kind of depressing when they don't live up to your ideology of your dream, you know, of your experience with your dream. This is normal. If anything, this is human. We also got the number 4. The number 4 is a stable number. It's like, it just shows how powerful Nim is growling. Nim, hey. He was sleeping, he was growling. I just feel like this need to escape, this constant need to escape, because the abundance is never ending. So it's constantly feeding yourself this bliss, but running away from so much at the very same time. And that can get addictive and comfortable and safe. That can become very safe. And I sense this stability in this trance of constantly seeing and being in that vision, that dream, that you know, of what you want, what makes you happy. That world that, like I said, has characters from this very reality, and you can be awake, and you can, like I said, be in a trance and constantly just want to go back to that trance, back to that feeling of being able to just see what you want. It took me a lot to prep for this video because I just feel like you're on that peak of transformation, metamorphosis, from the caterpillar literally to the cocoon, to what feels like freedom. This card really took me to the dark side, I'm not gonna lie. And every time I try to talk about it, I keep having to stop myself, because there's a lot that is being shown that I'm confused about with this addictive idealism of escaping right here, right now, and having cold outbursts, cold episodes. I'm going to pull out a card from the Lemurian deck now. The Lemurian deck is quite opposite from the Dark Mirror deck. It's the author and creator of the deck and the artist of the deck channels the Lemurians, and the Lemurians are beings of light and love. So they have a solution to every issue. So what's our issue here with the Dark Mirror? It's not necessarily an issue. And I think that is what society wants us to think about all of this. This is an issue. This is a problem. You escaping is not normal. That's not true. Like I said, that's human. You know, way back in the day, before technology, before control, when we were just, you know, our ancestors, they were all about using their third eye and their crown chakra, knowing, just knowing. That's a gift and a curse. But a curse only if you allow it. And I think you've allowed it for a very long time. Very long time. Thinking it's a curse. And hating yourself for sometimes turning your back against it, because we can be our own worst critics, our own worst enemies. That's normal. The Lemurians will have a solution to this ideology, this addictive ideology that we have to constantly consume pleasure, constantly, in order to feed that dream, feed that vision, because you just want to escape, you know. Let's see. We got the number 4 again. There are no coincidences. Solar plexus chakra. That is right underneath the heart. It's the crown, third eye. Those two that I think have become addictive, like, because we're talking about chakras, so those wheels are spinning overtime, and they've been spinning overtime. You got double 4, so it's like the Lemurians are telling you, oh yeah, it's that bad. It's that bad where you can't even recognize yourself. You can't even look at yourself in the mirror, because you're just like, who is that? Really, in your own eyes, looking within your own eyes, looking into your soul, not being afraid to do that, because you recognize who you are. And if that is what's, you know, challenging, then the Lemurians are saying you need to, you know, just as strongly watch how you talk to people. Watch how you talk to yourself. Watch how you talk to people. But watch how you talk to yourself too. Watch how you talk to yourself, most importantly, I'd say. Because then I feel like you're already really good at how you talk to other people. You're really good at that. Okay, well, watch how you talk to yourself then. Especially when you're in that phase of wanting to escape. In that other world, how are you behaving in that other world? Are you facing yourself in that other world as well? Where you know that's another realm. This right here, this flesh, is what's vital. I don't know why that came out that way. But just know that I don't judge you, Capricorn. I'm listening too. Let's pull out a life purpose card from the life purpose angels. Yes, angels from heaven who are with love and light as well. What is something we can literally go out and do right now to help us focus on that conversation with ourselves that can help us become a bit more vulnerable and strong and love ourselves a bit more and accept ourselves, forgive ourselves, be more grateful with life and everything and everyone in it, and the past versions of you and the versions in your dreams, all of it, all of it. Spiritual teacher, I believe this. You heal with your classes, sessions, and seminars. I'm not saying you have to teach a class or you have to, you know, gather everyone for a seminar or something like that. No, I think the angels are trying to tell you, you are connected to so many realms of spirituality. But that's like an understatement. Because spirituality has so much stigma. Why spirituality? Like, really? Oh, it's more than that. It's experience, it's wisdom. And you're able to heal people with your wisdom, with your actions behind supporting your wisdom. It's beautiful, Capricorn. So I think this year, it's really about asking you, who are you? Who are you right here, right now? Not before, not in the other world, but here. Who are you? Is it someone who is trying to accept themselves, who is still mourning to all of the lessons and learning to be grateful for it all, for the lessons? Good talk. Let us move on to the actual reading here. There's a room with a table, and there's, on one side it's you, and on the other side is a noun. Person, place, or thing. And this noun is taking a lot of your energy, maybe because you're giving it and you want to, or maybe because it's, you know, that addictive quality that we may have. So first card is you. You see that? It fell out as soon as I said it. This is you. Came out reversed, but it's called the Hanged Man. And if you see, wow, look at that. Number 4 with his legs. Number 4. So that is 3 4 so far. 4 4 4. Like I said, there are no coincidences, Capricorn. Now, the Hanged Man, upright, is someone who is literally putting themselves in a new perspective. It's not because anyone's forcing them. It's because they are just so tired of seeing the same shit, experiencing the same darn thing over and over and over and over again. And it just gets tired of their own bullshit. So they force themselves to see the world upside down. And they become enlightened. You see that halo around his head? He becomes enlightened as soon as he does it. He's like, oh shit. You're struggling with this. You're struggling to just surrender. 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 Surrender to your inner it's like I'm constantly fighting with thinking. It's like the angels on my shoulder and the devils on my shoulder, and they're talking to me, each of them, as a perspective of you. And the angel is telling me so much, and the devil is telling me so much, and I'm constantly like, well, what are we surrendering? Who are we surrendering to? Okay, we need to surrender. We need to just, okay, but who? The good or the bad? See, the thing is, we all have Sith in us. We all have Jedi in us. We all have Rebel in us. Okay? Maybe a little bit of Mandalorian. I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? Life is like an ocean, and there's constant waves, and we go up and down, and that's obvious with money, especially. We have our moments where we have a lot of money, then we have our moments where we have money, sure, but gosh, I mean, why do I always imagine having so much more money, though? You know, being able to just feel like you can attain so much more money, and being obsessed with thinking like, I want more money, you know, even though you have enough. You have enough. Not taking the time to be grateful for it, or being grateful for it, sure, but constantly still going back to that. I want more, though. I want more, not out of greed, maybe, but out of need. And that need is coming from another, you know, realm. It's not coming from here, because here you have enough. You're struggling with surrendering because you don't know how to surrender, and that's understandable. There's no rules to this, Capricorn, and you know this, but it can feel so overwhelming sometimes. It's like we're constantly walking towards our higher self, and then we're walking backwards, and then we're walking towards our higher self, and then we're walking backwards, and it just gets draining. It's draining. I think because it's draining, we need to snap ourselves out of it. And how does that look like for you? Does that mean literally just deciding to move, or deciding to take that long vacation, deciding to cut your hair, deciding to revamp yourself, deciding to just do the thing that will literally just force you to see things differently? On the other side of this table is a noun. The Queen of Wands. Maybe a fire sign, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Doesn't have to be. Just someone who is just constantly surrounded with intensity. This is like an intense person, almost a little intimidating, but because they can just see right through you and within you, they can read you, all because they're constantly in that frequency of being here now. Being here now. And that is a curse as well. That is a curse as well. Being here now, that means you're consuming a lot of emotion, because you're just being here now, experiencing emotion. You know, instead of escaping and kind of analyzing emotions here and there, being able to, you know, tweak it how we want it with our third eye and our crown chakra. No, this person, and it's not like if they're like this all the time, But they're at that point of their life where they feel like this is how they have to be for now. They have to be like this, and it's not because they have to as well. It's not like someone's forcing them. It's because they're tired of living in that world. They're tired of living in the past. They're tired of not living here and now. So I'm going to live here and now, and I'm just going to read people. That's what this card is telling me. That's how they're feeling. I'm just going to read the room, and I'm going to stand in my power, my truth, and who I am right here and now. People are going to feel that. But being able to just read the room. What happens when both of these energies, the noun and you, what happens when you that's struggling and seeing everything in a new way, a healthier way? Because I think you're addicted to escaping somehow, and you haven't gotten tired of your own bullshit yet. That, to be quite frank with you. And then the noun is someone, like I said, who has gone down that road and they're over it. And that's it. And it's not to say that, like I said, this person, that's all they are. No. If anything, they're witnessing you right now struggling with this addiction. And they're looking at the future. They're looking at how this is unfolding and just reading it. And they have a flower on their hand, which means they come in with support, warmth. So when we bring these energies together, the composite energies, what is that? We got the 5 of Swords reversed. But we don't take reversals here, right? We don't. If you see, there are 3 men here. They can be the same man, different stages, or they can be literally 3 different people. But we have one man crying in pain. We have this man walking away, feeling defeated. And this one, carrying some of the knives, even though they're just like, they're done. But they're still feeling like, nah, I'm gonna take these knives. Yeah, sure, everyone's crying right now, but no, I'm gonna take these knives. They still left 2 of the swords on the ground, perhaps from the other 2 men. But even the weather is cloudy, and then what I'm getting from this energy is there's 3 people here. I'm not seeing it's just you and this noun. I feel like this is a 3-party situation, and that can look like anything. It can be literally a person and a place. It can be 2 people. It can be 2 places. It can be a thing and a place. You know what I mean? Switch it up. But 3. You, the noun, this Queen of Wands, you as a hanged man, and someone else, something else, somewhere else. But one is feeling really sad. One is feeling guilty, feeling hopeless. And then the other is feeling fine. You're gonna be like this? Okay, fine. No problem. I'm out of here. I'm very upset, but I'm not even gonna let you get under my skin. You do you. You wanna keep those swords. You wanna protect yourself. You wanna keep having your guard up, go ahead. No judgment, but I'm out of here. But no judgment. I'm out of here. And then we have the third, who's yeah, sure. Keep saying that. Yeah, I am gonna take these swords. Yeah, keep walking away. But not knowing that doing this is keeping them stuck in the past, keeping them stuck in old ways. Not realizing that literally as they're reacting like this, fine, yeah, I am gonna take these swords. I am gonna have my guard up because you have to be like that. Literally smiling about it. They're not realizing that they left their guard down and are literally letting their future slip away because they're being so stuck to old ways that keep you from growing. So there's a lot of growth happening here. And a lot of things have been said, a lot of things have been learned. And if it's not 3 people, if this is all you, if there's no one involved, Capricorn, I'm sorry, I should have said this earlier. Like it can be you as well. Your light towards the dark. And for example, the Hangman's the dark, constantly escaping instead of just forcing yourself to see things a new way. Your light, that part of you that is just here and now and full of motivation and drive and let's get shit done. I'm reading the room, I'm using my intuition, I'm getting shit done. And struggling between both those worlds, struggling because you have your guard up, because feeling like having your guard up, because I feel like the guard up situation here is more you. And you're either causing someone a lot of pain, and that's just me being real with you. But it doesn't have to be like that, you know, that's just what I'm getting. Maybe for some of you it is like that, and you just have to face that. It's okay, it's not the end of the world. But you are causing pain to another person if this is just you. You know, you can look at it like that. But like I said, it can be a three people thing. But what is some advice here? Advice here for this whole situation. We know where we are. We know where that other side is. We know what's happening when both of these sides come together. What's going on, what's being felt, what's being thought. What's some good advice here? We got 2 cards, Knight of Swords and the Ace of Wands. Don't be afraid to be quick and don't be afraid to go after. I feel like, why am I saying this if that's not the case? If it's the opposite, I'm like, because I don't want to come at you like telling you you can't go after what you love with so much intensity, because you shouldn't be afraid to do that. That's awesome. Go after what you love with intensity. Go after, and I'm talking about cold intensity, because we do have our guard up here, and it's like, I love you, but I'm gonna show you that I love you in a way that is very cold and controlling a little bit, and that is not you. I think those are just safety mechanisms that you do to make yourself feel better in the moment. And I think that's normal, but there's obviously something here. The advice is like, hey, we have something beautiful here. You have something beautiful here. Your life doesn't even have to be a person. Like I said, this can just be you But if it is a person, a place, or a thing, a business, a hobby, like, it's beautiful. Protect that, your life, protect it. And don't like, if you see this man here, this is the love and light and happiness that you do have in your life right now, that the advice is telling you to maybe not do this so much. Which, if you see the horse is like, hey dude, okay. And I think it's because you hear voices that are in that other world. Like I said, this is normal, that are constantly feeding you and making you think you have to be this way when you don't. Force yourself to get out of this for stable thinking, like, this is safe here, with how I'm feeling, with how I talk, with how I am, with how I behave, with how I view life, with how I talk to people, everything, with how I work, with how I feel, with how I think, with how I walk, with how I work, with how anything, with how I eat, with how I watch TV, with how I sleep, with how I go to the bathroom, with how everything. What's going to make you change all that? Maybe you need some, or, you know, like a Costa Rica, or Peru, like ayahuasca getaway. I always recommend that to, like, literally anyone. I think one experience can do us all some good. But I hope this helped. I love you. You are loved. You got this. And I will talk to you soon to see how this video did to you. Anyway, talk to you later.